Minty fresh, not medicine-y. Oh my gosh, I'm late. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm late. Where have I been? What was I thinking? What could I have been thinking? It's Tuesday. The day the time forgot. In case of you, if you got any tension left from earlier, just gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna be just fine, folks. So settle in. Thanks, Mom. Get off of there. Thanks, Tim and Demetra. I'm representing the right hand. Because, come on, I guess I can adapt. Cam and Pete. Yeah. Cam's got a birthday coming up, but we'll get to that later. Won't we? Will we? Yes, I hope so. So, once again, let's do a parts inventory. The left arm is still funky. Is it worse than last week? No. Is it about the same as last week? So what that means is, ladies and gentlemen, everything is kind of flying on a wing and a prayer. That's right, friends. Who's with me? Who's with me? So, on a night like this, it might do us all some good to work out a little aggression. The way you look at the world, I know you're alone. I know you're only pretending to talk on the phone. Your friend uptown is a fiction. The face you're wearing's an addiction. The house you grew up in was nobody's home. Be someone else if you please, and you buy an identity. Hairdos and outfits are all that they see, and you're suddenly better than me. You're better than me. The other night at the club was such an intricate scene. You bumped me off of the list, you bumped me out of a dream. I thought I saw some sincerity, but you were showing me charity. The cheesecloth reality was showing a scene. Be someone else if you please, and you buy an identity. Hairdos and outfits are all they've got time to see, and you're suddenly better than me. You're better than me. You got more right to stand here. You got more right to talk to her. You got more right to do anything than anybody else here. You got more right to the espresso bar. You got more right to the Wi-Fi. You got more right to get up and sing songs about how sensitive you are. Because you look the part. You're the king of the art. Because you look the part. You're the king of the art. Because you look the part. You're the king of the art. Because you look the part. Yeah, shaking it off. Shaking it off. I didn't think I was going to be singing that song a lot anymore, because it's so angry. But, sometimes it's good to just kind of, offload some of that. Just kind of take the top, 6 inches off of it. Just push. There you go. Then you're in territory you haven't seen in a while, and you can kind of go, oh, yeah, I remember what it was like to feel like this. Wasn't quite as bad as that up there. Yeah, it's good to be down here where it's deep and thoughtful and reasoned and, humane. Dare I say, democratic. It's all about the principles. It's the principle of the thing is the thing, and it's the principle of. And the rest of it is just drunken dumb show, as Allen Ginsberg said. Yes. Let me see, where was I? I was going to do something. Oh, yes. Now, I had the honor, the pleasure of joining the Whateverly Brothers last Saturday afternoon, early evening, on their Fortnight of Doom webcast, which they're doing every fortnight on a Saturday from 5 until 6:30 p.m. I think their next one is going to feature Magical Strings, Phil and Pam Boulding of Magical Strings, whom The Hand actually wrote an article about in the last issue of the Ancient Victories magazine on your newsstand now, or maybe not. Speaking of The Hand, wait. Speaking of The Hand, hello, Hand. Thanks for saying hi to me first. Ooh, you smell lovely. The Hand, the legendary Hand.
People are not feeling too badly about missing the debate at this moment.
Thank you, Hand, for that news flash. Hot off the presses. We got Bill Woolen, we got Cindy Snyder, we got Holly Tuttle and Kim Nelson. Ms. Kat Eggleston is here. Val Sanford is here also. Rick Lewis is in the house. Rick. Frank Vernon is in the house. Frankie baby. Welcome. Welcome one and all. And all the ships at sea. The ones that made it to land. I want to do this one because I'm kind of, just like last week, I'm a little jumpy here at the beginning, so I want to kind of burn a little of that off without consuming the entirety of my supply. As a seasoned professional, I've only been doing this for 40 years or so. I'm supposed to know how to parse my energy, how to deploy my aggressive vibage, channel it into productive little channels. Shut up and sing, Bill. Did I hear? Did someone? But I did play this one on Saturday, so. And I have never said, this song came about when I was in a dry spell, and I couldn't think of any. I just didn't feel inspired to write a song, and but then I thought, well, maybe I could be inspired to write a song about not being inspired to write a song. Hence, request.
Write us a song, Bill, and invite the mysteries of love and language, of art and honesty. We know they're in there, just itching to get free. So write us a song, Bill, and invite the mysteries. Write us a song, Bill. Isn't that what you do? There's a lonesome guitar sitting right next to you. He's good for a few words, maybe a melody or two. So write us a song, Bill. Isn't that what you do? Write us a song, Bill. like it did when we were young, back when the best words were waiting to be sung, back when the people weren't feeling so outgunned. Well, write us a song, Bill, like you did when we were young. Write us a song, Bill, an upbeat little tune that'll stick to the eardrums as we move from room to room. Sweet inspiration, it cannot come too soon. So write us a song, Bill, an upbeat little tune. Write us a song, Bill. How hard can it be? Just use your brain, son, and your bachelor's degree. What was it good for? Can you explain that to me? Explain it in a song, Bill. How hard can it be? Write us a song, Bill. We're running out of sun. This party's dying. We need to start another one. We need to strategize on what is to be done. So write us a song, Bill. We're running out of sun. Well, you wrote us a song, Bill. Thank the mysteries of love and language and generosity. We knew you were in there, just itching to get free. You wrote us a song, Bill. Thank the mysteries, thank the mysteries, thank the mysteries.
There you go. There you go. I was talking to somebody today. I said, see, what you got to get used to when you're doing these live stream things is there's no applause at the end of the song, you know? So you got to, instead of saying, thank you, I say, there you go. That's my new way of saying thank you for all the applause I can't hear. There you go. Okay. You're up to date now on all the nomenclature, the inside jokes, the things that you can, talk about, debate topics. Wrote a new song. Yeah. You want to hear it? Want to hear the new one? It's brand new. Brand spanking new. Wrote it, Friday. Wrote it on Friday. As usual, I was sitting right over there on that little wooden stool that I sit on, looking out that window right over there. And like I said, this is my lens. Much that happens out there goes down on the page. Well, on Friday, I was looking out the window, and what did I see? I saw rain. I saw rain. Now, Kat and John and Diane have heard this already, so it'll be boring for them. So maybe I shouldn't do it. Sorry, I don't mean to be. It's a doinky song. I call it a doinky song, but a lot of my songs seem doinky at the beginning. After I first wrote them, it takes a couple of months for the doinkiness to wear off. So I'm totally fine with the possibility that the doinkiness could become non-doinkiness at some point, but. You'll just have to bear with me. First of all, it's a song that you know how it's going to go pretty much after this much of it. But that's okay. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it is.
Rain is a subject that's worthy of trust. It stands up to scrutiny and settles the dust. It soaks through your overcoat, much as it must, but it never gets bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject we ought to research and learn to be thankful when we enter its church. It's fine architecture, we mustn't besmirch, so that it won't get bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject that washes your dreams. It dampens your undies when it goes to extremes. If it comes in sideways, it can't hear your screams, so it never gets bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject that's hard to resist, with nicknames like cats and dogs, drizzle and mist, and a few obscene adjectives to add to the list, yet it never gets bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject we must learn to love, since much of our sustenance falls from above. It's 80% of us, finger in glove, so let it never get bruised from its falling.
Right. There it is. Fairly simple, fairly straight ahead. But you know, it felt good to write something. It felt good to write anything in our current circumstance. I thought, I've probably written everything I'm going to write during the plague times, But there's other things going on besides the plague times. Rain was definitely happening this last week. Do I hear the pitter-patter of little hands? I do hear the pitter-patter of little hands. Why, thank you. Thank you, John Daly is with Kat. Well, there you go. Kathy Brewer. I'm assuming Loris is with Kathy. Greetings to the two of you. Jeff Steve. Uh-oh. Bill Davie for president. We just need some good songs to bring us together. Well, I'm proud to accept your nomination, as long as I can dress in my comfort shirt for the next 4.5 years. I'll be fine. One term, because I don't think this thing, it's more air than it is fabric now. So, if you don't mind a casual president, I'm your man. There you go. Happy to be here. Okay, where am I? Let's try something. I've been getting off lately. I've been getting off on John Hartford for the last couple of weeks, just because he's just so good. And when you watch John Hartford, you're thinking to yourself, here's a guy who knew how to have a good time. Yeah? That guy knew how to have a good... If I could learn the John Hartford shuffle, I would have, the world on a string. Because that guy, he could play the fiddle or the banjo, sing, and dance all at the same time. And that's 3 things simultaneously. Yeah. That's a lot to manage. When I was 10 years old, I learned this song. When I was 10 years old. I have a recording of myself as a 10-year-old. I thought I was 11, but it was July of 1968 when the recording was made of me singing this song. I'd love to play it for you, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, but if you will listen to last week's Bill and Diane show, I did put it on there, so there is a possibility for you to hear 10-year-old Bill, the soprano, singing "Gentle on My Mind," talking about, the hobo lifestyle, leaving the girls in the dust. And I'm born to roam, bound to roam. It is a motif. That whole, I'm a rambling guy, oh yeah, that whole thing. It is a motif, so I want to say that I do not endorse necessarily the anything that infers any kind of gender specificity in this song is strictly not any longer relevant to me. This is a piece of nostalgia for me from 52 years ago and counting. And also, well, it's part of my musical legacy, part of my musical history, I guess, playing this song. And so it's a song that my dad helped me to learn. And yeah, so let's see how it goes. Let's see. I've jiggered it up a little bit so that it's not quite as... let's see.
Well, it's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. That makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that have dried upon some lines that keep you on the back roads by the rivers of my memory and keep you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy planted on their columns now that binds me, or something that somebody said because they thought we'd fit together walking. And it's knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk along some railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and for hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, well, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind, but not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. Well, I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard, my beard a roughening coal pile and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cupped hands round the tin can I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waving from the back roads by the rivers of my memory, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind. That you're waving from the back roads by the rivers of my memory, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind.
There you go. It just feels good to sing that song. I don't know why. Probably because it's been in me for a long time. It's been in me for a long time. And it's a tribute to my dad, as far as I'm concerned. Oh boy, folks. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, folks. Okay. All right. She's back. Hello. Hello. Okay, I'll kiss this side. Yeah. Sandy Swayze. Good evening, Sandy. Glad you're here. Annie Landrome, my cousin. My cousin Annie is here. Probably means Robert's here too. Hey, you guys. Thanks for coming back. Colette is here. Katrina Knight is here. All the way from back east somewhere. Pennsylvania? Where are you? Where the heck are you? I don't see you. Where is she? Katrina! Cat. Cat says. She said, if you're to really play Gentle on My Mind, I might explode with happiness. Well, I hope that didn't happen. That would be quite a mess for John to have to clean up. Of course, the dog would probably help. Yeah. Val says, a balm to my weary heart. Bill says, what a song. I'm a puddle. Isn't that a good song? John Hartford has written so many good songs. Gosh, look him up. Do a deep dive on YouTube because you get to see him doing he's singing that with the banjo and doing the John Hartford shuffle, and he's got this cheesy grin on his face the whole time. Like, you watch John Hartford and he's having more fun than you are. You want some of that. You want to go there and do what he's doing and be having that kind of fun. That's how it should work. Isn't it? I don't know. I can't always tell. Let's see. What do I want to do now? Do I want to read poetry? I think I might read poetry. Is that okay? Can I read some poetry? Yeah. Yeah, it's time to read some poetry. Well, now, folks, what you got to understand is that if I'm going to keep reading my stuff, then each week we're going to be getting into further and further into what I would consider the questionable poems, the ones that I've never been that certain of. I've already read the ones that I'm certain about, so, yeah. But, these are not bad at all. I was reading these today, and I thought, you know what? I am into each and every one of these for its own little reasons, so maybe there's a spark in here that I can still work with, even after 10 years. So we'll start with one called Family Time from 10 years ago. In the morning dark, when streetlights lean over buses and sounds are hollow as if made of sleep, someone is already awake and talking on the phone. There is a pain in being alone he can only describe at this hour. His brother, his sister, the one he didn't get along with as a child, lives several states away, has had the same sad luck. In these early mornings, they blame their parents. It was a dim life back on the farm. One thought more of getting the herd to winter pasture and not so much about getting along with each other. They're all either has left now. And both still wake to the farm clock. They suppose this is what people call family time, these hollow-sounding hours before the shame of daylight. Family time. This is a little one called From Stafford, meaning William Stafford, I assume you know. This is an accident, this page, a nibble, as Stafford would say. You try to hook and land. As an old hand, you are less sure than ever which is good, fair, foul, so you march along, head dragging on your chest. In short or long, you do your best to build a backlog, a nest, a wreath of duff where you can rest and forget the rest. So maybe all these poems are my little nest. I wrote this one for my February birthday mates, Kat Eggleston, who is here, and Kelly Murphy, who I hope is here. And kind of a dream poem. It's called Composer. The power station pounds with its hammers and tongs as weather clears and blue appears over the worn sills of winter. This is Kat's birthday. 10 days before mine, 2 days before Kelly's, February babies, children of the darkest moon. We gather on both sides of 60, wearing the color of our years. Maybe we'll share a house someday. Separate rooms for each self and art, rags of our industry hung on a line that swings on a waltz written by wind. I'm going to read that one again. Tim Swiger Memorial Rereading. Composer. The power station pounds with its hammer and tongs as weather clears and blue appears over the worn sills of winter. This is Kat's birthday, 10 days before mine, 2 days before Kelly's. February babies, children of the darkest moon. We gather on both sides of 60, wearing the color of our years. Maybe we'll share a house someday. Separate rooms for each self and art, rags of our industry hung on a line that swings on a waltz written by wind. This poem has a very interesting story. Diane and I go out to La Push twice a year when it's not plague times. Usually in the spring and the fall, the off season, the shoulder season, when the rates are lower, and we're more likely to have stormy weather because we both love stormy weather. That's why the rain was so nice last Friday. We both like stormy weather. We both like to sit in the cabin and watch and go for walks, and we bring a stack of books with us, and we just soak it up. Soak up as much quiet. There's no internet service out there. Cell phones are spotty. It's just you and the ocean and the books. So it's kind of both of our dream vacation, and hoping to get back there real soon. We started by going to Claylock, and this was written when we were in Claylock at the Bluff Cabins at Claylock, and we were at breakfast one morning at the Claylock Lodge. We were splurging on one of their fine breakfasts, and we were looking out the windows, and there was an eagle perched in this high tree right over this little inlet with the river, where the Claylock River empties into the ocean. Anyway, so I imagined some kind of shape-shifting possibility in this poem. Call it Ritual Memory. It might need a new title, though. A clock does not always tell the time. Shoes we step into aren't necessarily on the path. Trance can come when least expected and overwhelm you with insight before the water has even boiled. You are looking out to sea from the tall branches of a tree. Humans watch you from the restaurant window as you groom your wing feathers. Once you spoke to them, and they raised trees in your honor, beautifully carved and replanted, standing off by themselves, where you could perch on your own outspread wings. There was a circle you flew, coming back to your body, remembering its purpose, its clothes and relations. It's where you found again the morning shower, coffee cup, job of work, connection to a community of others, born to the same bodies, drawn to the same sky. That's Ritual Memory. These are all pretty old. Probably, written in the last 10 years. But this is another poem I wrote after Jim Harrison passed. It's called Rivers. Jim Harrison wrote about rivers. It didn't save him. You study that channel for a lifetime, its spring rises and summer falls. Believe that what can be known obliquely, not quite in full, might be what God wants. A journey of perpetual curiosity. But that's not it either. God wants the discussion to continue in person rather than through the distortions of praise, no matter how fervent. Or God is jealous of how close we are to rivers compared to him. God does not do catch and release. He wants us on his plate. Another river poem. This is called Where the River. I'm going right through these, aren't I? Good. I should. Where the river runs through my bones. When I stand on the bank, it's deafening and serene, as afternoon is quieted by heat to a lulling roar in the ears. Head buzzes with half-grown thoughts, and cold water, down from the snows, carries numb winter on its back to ease the slow boil of bad ideas. This one's a little more recent, I think. We okay? You guys all right? This is called Walking Meditation. It's quick work. Translate a rain-wet parking lot into the language of salvation. Open your heart to the summer moon, coolest hours of contemplation, pale shadows on concrete. Deep places in the mind where crows fly on their backs to catch stars in their beaks. Old dog with cancerous face still nudges your leg in greeting like she did as a pup 14 years ago. Help finally coming for your son, lost without the language to voice his troubled heart. These messages are written in code. The key is in the rhythm of footsteps following the fallen summer moon. I don't know, and I probably never will. You'd think if I was going to know, I'd probably know by now, wouldn't I? Don't you think? Una mas, then I'll read some real poets. Okay, here we go. This is called All I Need Is a Tune. I sat off in a corner by myself, as I usually do, eating noodles and reading about Stephen King getting hit by a van while walking on a 2-lane road on a remote corner of Maine. The shopping mall had that white noise shopping malls are good at. The kind where ventilation systems sound like voices and voices sound like ventilation systems, and maybe both are true, but I thought I'd be too nervous to get up in front of all that ventilation and sing my same old songs again. I've been fixated on the fact that I haven't written enough new songs. I've been fixated on that for long enough that the thought of it has become a large steel-reinforced concrete block sitting next to me in the small room where I keep my guitar and writing equipment. The noodles were Asian, with cabbage and bean sprouts and something that chewed like chicken, and I got up and sang into the big wind, came home and wrote this. Now all I need is a tune. There you go. There you go. There you go. So I'm really taking a risk here. This just came to me this week. It's a brand new selected of Lucille Clifton, whose poetry I've loved, and I've watched her read, not in person, but, on videos, because that's what I like to do, I like to hear how they read them. But this is a big step for me, because her voice is so particular and so knowing, I can't pretend to have her knowledge. The knowledge that's in these poems. I can't pretend to have it, so what am I doing reading it aloud? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to take a crack at it here. I figure you guys might let me off the hook if things go badly. Some of these have no titles. Some of them do. I'm just going to read 4 or 5 of them. They're fairly short. O antic God, return to me. My mother in her 30s leaned across the front porch, the huge pillow of her breasts pressing against the rail, summoning me in for bed. I am almost the dead woman's age times 2. I can barely recall her song, the scent of her hands, though her wild hair scratches my dreams at night. Return to me, O Lord of then and now, my mother's calling, her young voice humming my name. This is called Children. They are right. The poet mother carries her wolf in her heart, wailing at pain, yet suckling it like Romulus and Remus. This now, how will I forgive myself for trying to bear the weight of this, and trying to bear the weight also of writing the poem about this? What I do when I get a collected or a selected poems, I start with the most recent usually, and work my way backwards. I think that's how contemporary poetry should be taught in the schools. We should start with poetry that from right now, poetry that's got language that the young people can connect to, poems that have subject matter young people can connect to, and then you can trace the influences back. You can teach them how to do that, and they'll be a student of poetry for life. Poetry is taught, you start with, T.S. Eliot or Walt Whitman. They're not going to get it. It's not going to break through the antique nature of it. But if you start with someone like Campbell McGrath, his long narrative lines, then trace back from Campbell McGrath to Allen Ginsberg. with his long, then you'd go back from Allen Ginsberg to Walt Whitman. Then you might have something. Anyway, sorry, that was a digression. This is called Mulberry Fields. They thought the field was wasting, so they gathered the marker rocks and stones and piled them into a barn. They say that, I'm going to start that again. Mulberry Fields. They thought the field was wasting, so they gathered the marker rocks and stones and piled them into a barn. They say that the rocks were shaped, some of them scratched with triangles and other forms. They must have been trying to invent some new language. They say the rocks went to build that wall there guarding the manor, and some few were used for the state house. Crops refused to grow. I say the stones marked an old tongue, and it was called eternity and pointed toward the river. I say that after that collection, no pillow in the big house dreamed. I say that somewhere under here moulders one called Alice, whose great-grandson is now old too and refuses to talk about slavery. I say that at the master's table only one plate is set for supper. I say no seed can flourish on this ground once planted, then forsaken. Wild berries warm a field of bones. Bloom how you must, I say. I need more practice. Cancer. The first time the dreaded word bangs against your eyes so that you think you must have heard it, but what you know is that the room is twisting crimson on its hinge and all the other people there are dolls watching from their dollhouse chairs. The second time you hear a swoosh as if your heart has fallen down a well and shivers in the water there trying to not drown. The third time and you are so tired, and you nod your head and smile and walk away from the angel uniforms, the blood machines, and you enter the nearest movie house and stand in the last aisle staring at the screen with your living eyes. Last one. It's called In the Mirror. An only breast leans against her chest wall, mourning. She is suspended in a sob between T and E and A and R and the gash ghost of her sister. T and E and A and R. It is pronounced like crying. It is pronounced like being torn away. It is pronounced like trying to remember the shape of an unsafe life. Lucille Clifton. The collection is called How to Carry Water. It was selected and has a foreword by Araceli Germain. I heard about it on Bookworm. You ever heard of Bookworm? It's a radio show from KCRW in Los Angeles. It's been on the air for like 30-some years. It's also available as a podcast. You can find it on wherever you find podcasts. The show is called Bookworm. Michael Silverblatt is the host, and he's a great interviewer. Yeah. He was interviewing the editor of this book. I'm continuing. We're going to run a little long tonight, if that's okay, because I've got a few more songs to play. But I wanted to continue with this book also, concerning the book that is the body of the beloved. We started this last week, and I'm going to try and read some every week. But we got to start at the beginning, restate the thesis. The beloved is dead. Limbs and all the body's miraculous parts scattered across Egypt, stained with dark mud. We must find them, gather them together, bring them into a single place, as an anthologist might collect all the poems that matter into a single book, a book which is the body of the beloved, which is the world. Okay. Smart or dumb, who cares? High or low, it makes no difference. The head and the heart, which one's on top, doesn't matter, as long as both take part. The poem can't tell the difference. No, that's not true. It knows, but still it reads us with indifference, reads us all the same. Those who wake in the middle of the night read a different book. For one thing, the world's all dark around them as if it disappeared. The poems they read are anxious, as if they feared the world might not return next morning, or if it did, might bring them sorrow or bad news, more sorrow, more bad news. A little light on the book's white pages while they read for an hour, pages lit up like a sail at dawn. The boat alone on the sea, but the wind steady, pulling them along. If death, then grief, right? Well, yes, but also relief, release, and love that goes past death, that keeps the connection so many think death severs. And then, of course, there's joy, because what we're after is the fact of resurrection, that what the heart longs for, the poem accomplishes. Praise that lifts up the body of the beloved. That wasn't a grave, only a door that closed and now is open, opening into a poem. I suppose you could evoke the entire body of the beloved in a single poem. Would it be all nouns, all verbs? Would it contain the word I? Or would that pronoun be understood, as in the Chinese poems, where it seldom occurs, since it is known to preside at the center of all things, present by its absence, absent as a presence? Which makes it resemble the body of the beloved, called back from oblivion by all the poems in the book. Those dreams in which a phantom of the beloved appears, those are a true haunting, a trick of the mind to make you think she's lost, that he will never come again. You wake in the dark weeping. You hear the river outside your window, flowing to the sea. You think, who could read poems in this darkness? And all the time, your sorrow is the poem of hope, and the beloved is there beside you. You get what he's going for here? Our memories keep them alive. Everything dies, nothing dies. That's the story of the book. If the book were a bird, those two sentences would be its wings. Nothing dies, everything dies. If the book were a fish, they would be its fins. But the book is the body of the beloved. 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 eyes, lips to kiss. Just a few more of these folks. Silence. Does silence make things vanish or confirm their disappearance? Is the beloved who has died buried more deeply by silence than by earth? Even closed and locked away, the book whispers about the beloved in dreams. Still, it's a whispering difficult to understand, impossible almost. But if we find the book and open it, if we find the poem that is trying to find us, the poem the beloved wrote and sent out on the long journey toward our heart, if we find that poem, it all makes sense, and the silence recedes before the beloved's quiet voice speaking to us. The beloved has gone away. Always this is the case. Each moment turns on its hinge and loss is there, loss announcing itself as an absence. But that's because we're looking backward, looking in the wrong direction, so desperately clinging to a last glimpse of the beloved, as if loss itself is what we loved. And all the time the beloved is coming toward us, is arriving out of the future, eager to greet us. Some of the poems are clear, some are incomprehensible. Aspects of the beloved, sometimes she's plain as a pebble, others he's hidden in opacity like a tree's roots. It's not all lucid miracle. You knew that. Life itself is full of mystery. Why shouldn't the life after death be strange? Poof. Tears and laughter, weighing them out, one against the other. Sobs and love sighs, trying to separate them, putting each in the scales. What a job. The book's no help. Clarification, catharsis, coherence. Every poem in the book aspires to these ideals, but to no avail. It's all there, but hopelessness, jumbled and muddled, tossed in the same sack. You want to sort it out and come to some conclusion, and instead, you're tossed in too. Gregory Orr, concerning the book that is the body of the beloved. And if he comes back to town, if you get a chance to see him read, he's still around. Lucille Clifton, no. Okay, I'm sorry for doing so much poetry, but no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry for apologizing. I'm sorry that I apologize so much, you know. It's that I can't... Excuse me. Here's a song I didn't like that much when I first wrote it. And now I like it pretty well. It's actually become one of my faves. And you're welcome to sing along if you know it well enough. Please do. I would encourage you to do that, if you know it. Old men are shadows of the way things should have been. On my back porch we gather to review the wheres and whens. We were not bred for idle time, yet we don't feel ill at ease. 'Cause we can dance around the laughing eyes of the ones we still seem to please. Yeah, we're deep in the third act, close to the fire and the coal sack, like old Abednego and Shadrach, or the moths on the sill. It means we still got the climax, and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold fact, just like we probably will. Old men are shadows of the dreams that made them young. Our children climb the ladders while we brace the bottom rungs. It's a long day mending fences, but it pays well in the end. 'Cause we can dance around the laughing eyes in the arms of our best friends. Yeah, we're deep in the third act, close to the fire and the coal sack, like old Abednego and Shadrach, or the moths on the sill. It means we still got the climax, and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold facts, just like we probably will. We were made fools by money, sold that comfort comes with time. We've been lied to by a system that was built on other crimes. We were fooled by the mirror when it made us look so trim and young. All but love's never made a fool of us, other than a willing one. Old men are shadows of the way things should have been. On my back porch we gather to review the wheres and whens. It's a long day mending fences, but it pays well in the end. 'Cause we can dance around the laughing eyes in the arms of our best friends. Yeah, we're deep in the third act,
close to the fire and the coal sack, like old Abednego and Shadrach, or the moths on the sill. It means we still got the climax and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold facts, just like we probably will. It means we still got the climax and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold facts, just like we probably will. Exchange the hot for the cold, just like we probably will.
There you go. There you go. Yes, sir. I'll do another cover song for you tonight. 2, count them, 2, 1, 2, in the same show. What's he doing? Is he running out of his own stuff? He probably thinks that we're getting tired of his songs. Well, maybe you are. And that's a problem that may just keep getting worse because I can't write all new songs every week. It's never been like that. But I can play some of my favorites. I don't do that many covers, but I know a few. I know more than I thought I did, and I'm relearning some that I used to know. I've always liked this one. This is a Tom Petty song.
Wildflowers, you belong in a boat out at sea. Steal away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, find you a lover. Run away somewhere all bright and new. I've seen no other who compares with you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, go find a lover. Run away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free.
There you go. Little classic Tom Petty there. Everybody all right? I know I'm running a little over tonight. But I think I'll close with Life on the Sound tonight. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for going through this with me. This hour is way too short. This is like the shortest hour of the week. Have you noticed that? I mean, I don't know if that's your experience, but it's my experience. And I want you to know that this hour has given my entire week a shape that I'm absolutely in love with. I just think it's great. And it's making a student of me again, and making a writer of me. Well, I guess I was already one of those. But anyway, thanks for that. Oops.
Scott carved a shield for his daughter, First Nations designs he had seen. Out of cedar he pulled from the water, and the carvers he met in his dreams. Now she carries his grandchild inside her as they take the path down to the bay, skipping stones on the still morning mirror, with everything and nothing to say. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, a fog on the shoreline and rain in rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a new generation, and exactly where you need to be. Alma drove home for the summer from a secret that she left behind. There was high drama out on the desert, and the rivers unsettled her mind. What she needs is the peace and the stillness, the slow breath of tides on the beach, the smell of her mother's warm blankets, and all she requires within reach. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, a fog on the shoreline and rain in rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a good explanation of exactly where you need to be. Was a gooey duck miner. He could dig 7 buckets a day, and his chowder was the talk of the island long before all the fish moved away. Now he sits on his rock in the twilight, and he smiles as the memories float by. Now the mainland has swallowed the sunset, making way for this flickering sky. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, a fog on the shoreline and rain in rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a standing ovation, and exactly where you need to be. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, a fog on the shoreline and rain in rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a standing ovation, and exactly where you need to be.
There you go. not done yet. Because you know what? I forgot to use the old ICU2 TV set. Dialing it in. Because you know what? We got some birthdays this week. We got some birthdays happening right now, even as we speak. Joyce Campbell, old friend from Libby Creek, dynamic bass player. Happy birthday, Joyce. Alexandra Porter, also celebrating her birthday today. Alexandra is Diane's and my former primary care physician, an excellent doctor, and an excellent friend. Happy birthday, pal. Coming up, what else have we got? Shauna Holman has a birthday tomorrow. Shauna I've known kind of just like via email since back in the 80s. She made my first website back then. Who else? Sandy Swayze has a birthday coming up on Thursday, I believe. Sandy, you still out there? Happy birthday this week. Also on Thursday, Mr. John Strongbow. Old Victory Music guy, singer-songwriter, multi-talented, multimedia artist, intensely cool visual artist. John, happy birthday this week. Also, Cameron Morris, the C from the C&P Coffee Company, celebrating a birthday on Thursday, I believe. On Friday, someone who's in the room, Rick Lewis, is having a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, sir, coming up this Friday. Also, Joyce Glasgow has a birthday on Friday. Matt Price, local singer-songwriter of some renown and note and goodness, having a birthday. Happy birthday, Matt. Saturday, Tim Vernon, Frank, your bro, don't forget his birthday on Saturday. It's coming up. Yep, one of my longtime friends from college, one of the Fellowship of the Rocks. We get together every other week on a Zoom call now. Who else has got a birthday? Let's see. Sheba Deba. Nishea McCoy from First Student. Oh, beautiful, beautiful person. Sheba Deba is what I used to call her. Yeah, because I was never quite sure that I was pronouncing her name right, and I may not have done that. But Sheba Deba, happy birthday. Who else? Tammy Harridge is having a birthday on Saturday. Tammy of the Antique Sandwich Company. Also, Teresa Casagram is having a birthday on Saturday, another Methow Valley friend. On Sunday, Mr. Nick Gadbois, the maestro, a fine musician and an amazing visual artist who just recently got married, I believe. So congratulations twice, Nick Gadbois. Who else? Sarah Ashford. Sarah Ashford, wife of Deputy Don Ashford. Yeah, from K-Root Radio up there in the Methow Valley. Don and I are old Kevlar buddies, KVLR, Bulletproof Radio. Yeah, we used to work together. Deputy Don. Deputy Don's Radio Ranch. Yes, sir. Happy birthday, Sarah. Sarah's the queen of the textiles. This woman can do anything with fabric. It's amazing stuff. You can see her stuff. You go up to the Methow, you go to Twistworks. Look for her name, Sarah Ashford. You won't be disappointed. And then on Monday, Amelia Henron has a birthday on Monday. Mealy, happy birthday to you. Coming up on Monday. So there you go. So I got to do one more. Because I can't just do the birthdays and then leave, right? Maybe I'll just do my favorite song. We'll call it good. Where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Way up here? That can't be this far up. Can it? Does he dare? Does he dare to exist in this tiny space? What can be done? I have no idea what I'm doing. I may have played this recently, but I don't care. I'm sorry, but this song is medicine for me. Because it... sorry, I need to make sure that the light back there is visible. This song is medicine to me because it's a song I wrote for Diane after my MS diagnosis, when everything kind of got a little different. You know? Yeah. Times like this, when I'm hurting, this song comforts me. And I hope it does the same for you. And will you come away with me, oh Diane, my darling,
And will you come away with me to lie on the verge of the salty sea, and to know it's where we're meant to be? Oh, Diane, my darling. And shall I wear a suit of black, oh Diane, my darling? Shall I wear a suit of black to walk with the friends who won't come back, and to finally make my peace with that? Oh Diane, my darling. And will they dig a proper grave, oh Diane, my darling? And will they dig a proper grave near to the drum of the breaking wave? And will the grandkids all behave? Oh Diane, my darling. And will they sing a song I wrote, oh Diane, my darling? Will they sing a song I wrote they found in the pocket of a threadbare coat, and then fold it up into a paper boat? Oh, Diane, my darling. And will they shed a grateful tear, oh Diane, my darling? And will they shed a grateful tear for the rough old sea that brought us here, and then raise a glass to the coming year? Oh, Diane, my darling. And will you come away with me, oh Diane, my darling? And will you come away with me to lie on the verge of the salty sea, and to know it's where we're meant to be? Oh, Diane, my darling.
There you go, folks. There you go, there you go, there you go. Thanks for coming out. Hi, Jamie Turner. Rick, happy birthday this week. Mark Kenny. The beard looks great, man. Got to dunk your head in a bucket of water, Mark. That's a good thing to do. If you don't have a creek handy, go with the bucket of water. But if you got a creek handy, the creek. yeah, there you go. Holly Tuttle. Holly and Kim, thank you guys for coming. These guys are here every week. Cindy Snyder. Jeff Steve. Goodness gracious. Thanks. I could not be more grateful than I am. Or if I can, I haven't figured out how to be yet. But I'm working on it. Okay. Try not to argue about stuff. Take care of each other, okay? We'll see you next week. Good night.